So the Autumn measures 1.17 kilometers in length. If you scale this against the longsword's wingspan, you get this. The longsword rests within one of the Autumn's 8 hangar bays. This is what the hangar bay looks like. If we maintain the same scale ratio, you arrive at this. Although at face value it seems like it fits, remember that I said that the Autumn has 8 of these. This is how they should be laid out, but if we laid them out like this, one of two things happen as a consequence. Either the longsword gets scaled down to around a factor of 2.65, or the Autumn has to be scaled up. If we scaled the longsword down, Chief wouldn't be able to fit inside of it to fly out of the Autumn at the end of Halo CE, so the Autumn has to be scaled up. Hey everyone, welcome back to Installation 00, and I'll be honest, it's been pushing 2 years since this original video, so I wouldn't blame many of you if you don't particularly remember the particular video I'm about to reference. But about 2 years ago, I made a video regarding the Pillar of Autumn and how its scaling doesn't really make any sense, and I posited the argument that if we upscaled the size of many of the UNSC ships by about 2.65 times, the scale issues become non-existent. It actually originally arose because it's very clear that, for example, in the final cutscene of Halo CE, Chief flies away in a longsword. Now, the longsword's wingspan, when you actually compare its lore wingspan and then calculate how wide the hangar bay is that it was launched from is, based on how long the Pillar of Autumn actually is, the longsword's too big. Far too big. But the longsword is also just the right size for Chief to get inside of it, so you can't really shrink the longsword down, you have to increase the size of the Pillar of Autumn. The Pillar of Autumn itself is 1.17 kilometers in length, apparently, according to the lore, and yet the final Warthog Run stretches to nearly 3 kilometers. So again, I think I made in a subsequent video, again all these videos will be linked in the description, so rest assured if you want to actually brush up on it, the links are there. But in a subsequent video I addressed that by upscaling the size of the Pillar of Autumn and then changing the final Warthog Run to actually work within the context of the Pillar of Autumn. In the game files it's very clear, and as it's been highlighted by halo.bungie.org, the final Warthog Run actually protrudes out of the front of the ship. But once you upscale the Pillar of Autumn by 2.65 times, and then rework the Warthog Run to actually work with the topography of the ship, it actually does fit and make a lot of sense, including that really bloody ridiculous bridge that connects the front half of the ship and the back half of the ship. An outside bridge, the bloody stupid bridge. I mean, who the hell would have a single roadway connecting the front and rear sections of an entire ship? Who the f***? I'm not even going to get into it. But again, with the rework, it actually kind of makes sense. So I strongly suggest that you go along and look at that original video. But in this video right now, the reason why I'm making this is because I opened it up to the public at the time and said, hey, if you're a modder, if you're a forger, and you feel like you might actually better make this, then feel free and go ahead. Just use the trackway or the plan that I originally had laid out in that first video, and use that as the template. And then we'll see how it plays. Well, somebody actually came back and modded Halo CE and made a bloody good job of it as well. Again, we're talking, this is a video nearly 2 years old now, and even this person's responses to that original proposition are 1 to 2 years old. The reason why you're only hearing about it now is because there was at least a plan at the time to implement AI into this modded, reworked Warthog Run, but I trod water hoping that information would come back and that I'd receive word that it's been finished, it's been implemented, and it's now a fully workable modded level. But it didn't, and that's fine. I wasn't exactly employing them to do it. And at the end of the day, if they lost interest or they just had to get on and do other things, it's fine. But the fact of the matter is, somewhere out there is a Warthog Run that actually works exactly with my original proposed idea, and I wanted to present that to you here today. So the footage that you've been watching so far is the building process of this level. You can see in this comparison here, this is my original idea for how this level could be used, and I reused effectively just chopped up parts of the Warthog Run track that was provided by the images from halo.bungie.org and reworked it into this kind of new Warthog Run that worked within the context of the upscaled Pillar of Autumn. And these are the in-engine renders of the Warthog track being made and the creation process of it. And better still, there is actually a final gameplay version of it which is on screen now. Again, this is before any AI have been put in, it's before any real music or the timer has been implemented or the faux hammer crash scene. This is before all of that kind of dynamic gameplay aspects of the actual level have been implemented, but this is the level exactly as I originally intended it. There are key areas along the Warthog Run, key rooms and key features of the Warthog Run that actually match up with specific areas of the Pillar of Autumn. For example, a lot of the larger open areas where you can actually see the sky above you actually run across the ship's dorsal structure along the top spine of the ship. So it made sense that most of those came first. The trench, which is that really stupid bridge that connects the two halves of the ship where faux hammer goes down, actually lines up remarkably well with a portion of the ship towards the front where hull section 2 and hull section 3 connect together. The Leap of Faith room lines up relatively well with the Pillar of Autumn's primary docking hardpoints, which is where a lot of cargo, a lot of resources, equipment, arms and provisions were actually brought aboard of the ship, and it's from this location they would be put onto lifts or elevators or other methods of moving freight around the ship to the areas that whatever cargo was brought on board is most urgently needed. Even the hangar bay is technically on the starboard side of the Pillar of Autumn. Meanwhile, in the original Warthog Run, you would go along the Warthog Run and then you'd literally come to a dead end at the end where you'd then have to make the run to the longsword. But of course we know that the Warthog Run actually protrudes from the front of the ship, which means the hangar bay is seemingly, if it fit within the ship, at the front of the ship, yet in the cutscene the longsword comes from the starboard side of the ship. So the position of the final hangar bay is also being changed to mirror the fact that it's actually on the starboard side. I did have kind of a whimsical, dreamy kind of idea that maybe we'd actually see additional structure within the ship. So for example, there are 8 hangar bays. There's 4 on the port side, 4 on the starboard side. And I liked the idea that you could drive down a main roadway or a freightway effectively that would be used to move cargo and vehicles and things like that between the different hangar bays and maybe other areas of the ship. And you'd move down that roadway and then you'd basically you'd be able to see the other hangar bays either side lining the roadway, and the only hangar bay that has the longsword in it would be marked with a waypoint, and you'd approach where it is, but you'd be blocked because of debris that's fallen from above and has blocked the way to the other hangar bays, and you'd just be able to swing the Warthog around, jump out and make that final dash to the longsword. Again, I mean, today is literally the day that the winter update for Halo Infinite just launched and Forge launched along with it. I'm still entertaining the idea that perhaps there might be someone out there who's infinitely more skilled than I am in Forge, because I'm quite honestly useless at Forge. But there might be someone out there who would be willing to look at the work that's been done here and actually recreate it in Forge in Halo Infinite, so that it could be available for everyone in theory. Again, if you know someone out there or you feel like you could take that task upon yourself and the videos aren't quite enough and maybe you need a little additional information, please by all means reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord or throw a comment in the comment section down below, because I think for lore fanatics like myself, and I'm sure there are tons more of us out there who are as into the lore and know these little discrepancies, things like this that would fix these little lore discrepancies are so enjoyable to actually explore and to build and then to be actually be able to play through. And who knows, if we strike the right chords, it's always a possibility. It's a slim possibility, but there's always a possibility that maybe certain lore can be updated and then we kind of become part of the lore. again, long odds, and I'm not promising anything, but it's at least a slim possibility. And again, I'm so appreciative of the guys who originally built this. There was evidently a few people that went into it, because some of the videos that were posted to my Discord back when this all was kind of taking place had other people talking in the background about, you know, sort of certain things that the level was doing or the AI characters were doing. So it's evidently probably more than just one person. But nevertheless, I've linked the channel itself that these particular clips were posted directly to with the videos that you've been watching throughout this video for your enjoyment. So all props to them for actually being able to reproduce my crazy little idea for getting around this scaling issue with the Pillar of Autumn and reworking the Warthog Run. It's incredible to actually see this and see something that I just sort of dreamed up actually come into reality like this. And again, there's so much more potential involved in this yet. So again, be sure to go across to their original videos and show them some love. Let them know that 00 is much appreciative of all of the efforts that they went into. And again, if you feel like Forge is your kind of bag and you feel like you might be up to the task, feel free to give the Warthog Run the Halo Infinite treatment, because I would be absolutely beside myself if we actually built kind of a lore accurate canonical kind of interior for the Pillar of Autumn with the Warthog Run inside. It would just be like beyond incredible. Nevertheless, all the relevant links you'll find in the description below. You'll find the links to my original videos where I proposed the problems with the scaling issue and the new Warthog Run. You'll find the videos and the channel of the guys who made this awesome mod from Halo CE, and I leave it open to you guys. Take it easy, everyone. Find peace in the domain.
Thanks for watching. Stick your comments down below, and I look forward to what you have to say. And quick shout outs and thank yous to my patrons: Spartan10148, my devastatingly effective Metarch class ancilla; Silver Spartan, Leon, Ram, Prophet Bear and Irrefutable Justice, my ever-vigilant monitors; the careful tending of Alvin, Andrew, Brian, Cameron, Darian, Devon, Phantom, Flaming Halo, Cabal, Legions Lost, Michael, Spartan0137, The Cave Potato and Wolf Eclipse, my sub-monitors, my growing fleet of Strato Sentinels, and my most loyal of enforcers, and all my awesome Sentinels, Sentries and Constructors who have jumped aboard on Patreon to help support the channel. You have my debt of gratitude. And, as ever, Todd Morrison, my Tier 0 Transcendent YouTube member. Thanks for keeping my installation running on that glorious vacuum energy. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, as it all helps the channel grow and helps me to continue to deliver this kind of content for you guys. And if you're ready for your next steps in evolution, head over to Patreon and become a patron there, or become a YouTube member to attain a higher state of being. Much love to all of you, take it easy everyone, and find peace in the domain.